I am not a victim, and this is not a pity party. I'm Shana Meyerson, and I am unapologetically Jewish. By now, probably a lot of you know my story of my storied career, wherein I was one of the leaders in the world yoga community, from which I was completely canceled for my support of the Jewish state. I already mentioned that I'm an unapologetically Jewish person. I have to add to that, of course, the addendum that I am also unapologetically Zionist. So, what has this meant for me? This means that since podcasting full time for Israel and the Jewish people for the last 2 years, I have given up my career as a yoga instructor. Now, that may sound like, oh, because I'm working so hard on my podcast, which I am. This is a 24/7 job. You can't imagine the kinds of hours that I'm working every single day of the week. That because I'm putting all of my effort into this, therefore, I don't have time to teach yoga anymore. That is not the case. In fact, I still have a handful of holdover students who haven't ditched me because I love Israel. Oh, and I'm a Jew. So, what does this mean? Why did I give up my career? I gave up my career because by standing up vocally and all over social media, where I have approximately 100,000 followers across platforms, by standing unequivocally for Israel, I have lost a vast number of my followers, tens of thousands of them, but also my career. Prior to October 7th, I used to travel all over the world. I've taught at about 200 studios across the globe, teaching master classes and workshops in specialty yoga things such as handstands. Well, 100% of that business is gone because nobody wants a Zionist in their studio. And even if they did want a Zionist in their studio, their students would not tolerate a Zionist in their studio. And therefore, that business is gone. Also, when you walk into my condo where I do a lot of my private teaching, you'll see, for example, this picture on my wall, which is a picture of famous Zionists. There's stuff like this all over my house, including a mezuzah on my studio door and an Israeli mandala. You can't see all the other things because what you don't see behind this computer is a huge full-size Israeli flag that is coming over my loft and into the main part of my condo. Now, what does this mean for me? It means that whenever I've had a new student who comes to my house, they come in, see the flag, and that is the end of our relationship. In fact, since October 7th, almost 100% of everybody who has ever booked a class with me has wound up canceling before the first class. Now, you could say any number of reasons for that, except for the fact that this never happened before October 7th. And as soon as you Google me online, you find out pretty unequivocally that I'm sort of all in on this Israel thing. So why is this relevant? This is relevant because A, I've been living on my savings for 2 years. Again, this is not a pity party, but it's relevant to the conversation that I want to have today. Yes, I've had some very, very generous donors who have donated to support the show, of which I am deeply grateful, literally for every dollar that has ever been donated. But a lot of people are saying, if you don't know where your next dollar is coming from, which I don't, and you need to pay for things such as your mortgage, why don't you just go back to teaching yoga? That is your area of expertise. So let me tell you two things. First of all, I have more expertise in Jewish and Israeli issues than I have in yoga. Now, that's saying a lot because by all intents and purposes, I would be considered an expert in yoga. I also happen to care about Israel and the Jewish people a lot more than I care about the community of hypocritical social justice warriors of love and light who believe that killing Jews is a good fight. These are not my people. These are not people who I wish to have in my orbit. So in order for me to just start teaching yoga again, I would actually have to renounce Israel, probably publicly. And I would have to, for sure, give up my podcasts and probably take them down altogether, because as soon as people find that online, that's the end of my new class. So people are like, so what? So why is this so important to you? Why can't you just bite the bullet and say in your heart you care about Israel, and in real life do Israel things, and you don't have to mix your online business with your personal beliefs? Well, let me put it this way. Would you want to marry the twin brother of your abusive ex-husband? Because that's basically what people are asking me to do. I don't want to get back in bed with the people who want to have me killed in my bed. And also, in order to renounce all the things that are so important to me, I would have to subvert all of my morals and all of my values, which, by the way, goes against the very concept of yoga. Yoga says that you have to have what's called tapas, which is passion for the things that you believe in the most. That is the relentless pursuit of satya, truth. I am here to speak truth, not my truth, truth. I am here because of ahimsa. Ahimsa means nonviolence. It's the distinction between good and evil, and it's a distinction that is very clear in my mind. And even if I didn't have to verbally say that I am an anti-Zionist, like everybody else in the fun yoga crowd with their keffiyehs and the things, even if all I had to do was go silent, like most of the people I know in the yoga industry who support Israel, but God forbid would ever post it online lest they lose a follower or a client. In case you haven't heard, silence is complicity. Silence is a bridge too far for this person with an overactive throat chakra who needs to talk and talk and talk. I will talk until my face is blue and until everybody who needs to hear this hears this. This is why I am willing to take the financial hit that I'm taking in order to advocate for Israel. If you want to support the show, there's details in the description below. If you don't, just subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, all of these things help me to make my ends meet. Because ultimately, I'm not here to teach you how to handstand. I'm here to teach you how to stand up for Israel and the Jewish people. Am Yisrael Chai.